Welcome to my new YouTube channel, Narcs and Demons. In this first video, I'm just going to give a brief background of my story and why I'm starting this channel. I'm currently at the tail end of a 20-year relationship with a narcissistic psychopath. Married for 14 years, still technically married. Can't let me go, can't make it easy. Can't just end it and be done with it. It's not the way they are. A child who is wrapped up in a lot of this. My story is one of self-accountability, empowerment, and enlightenment. I feel driven to tell my story. It's honestly one of those, I'm not sitting here trying to get a bunch of subs. If I get one subscriber and that subscriber listens to this and it cues them in, it wakes them up, it validates the experience they've been through, that is all I could hope. If I get 0 subscribers, it doesn't matter. This is a journey for me too. I'm working through it. I'm going to stumble along. I'm not going to get everything right. I don't know the full picture yet. I'm still working through it. This is about being in a relationship. This is about dealing with close relationships with people who genuinely have narcissistic personality disorder and other similar type cluster B personality disorders that have they're destructive tendencies. And it truly comes from, this isn't just a person who's an asshole, has some narcissistic traits, kind of puts themselves before everybody else and all that. No, these are people with severe trauma, severe psychological disorders, that they need psychotherapy. They need prolonged, consistent, deliberate help. And even with that, a lot of them are never going to be able to make substantial enough change to be different than who or what they are right now. Up until a year ago, I truly thought this person was sent from God. And as I'm saying that, she was sent from God. She was sent from God as a test. It was a test. Follow your carnal desires, put your head in the sand, and you'll pay. You're going to have to learn. You either learn right now, you see what I'm showing you right now, or you're going to learn the hard way. This is from somebody with a broken family, grew up in divorce, in destruction all around me, all the time. Nothing was ever stable. I'm not a victim. I'm not going to sit here. My childhood is nowhere near probably an average childhood in America, honestly. An average divorce kid childhood. But that left scars. That left me susceptible, just in many cases like the narcissist. This is the thing where maybe we're called super empaths or empaths, or there's names or whatever. Kind of two sides of the same coin. If you're a super empath, you know what I'm talking about. If you have those qualities that are described in that manner, you got an evil side. You can match that. You can match what the narcissist does. You can raise the bar. You know exactly what I'm talking about. As with a lot of lessons in life too, it's about what we choose to do with what's put in front of us. It's what we choose to do with the trauma we've been through. This channel's not about becoming cold and hard and judging everybody and looking for narcissists around every corner. looking for people trying to take advantage of us around any corner. It's about embracing those qualities and letting them shine, but letting them shine in the correct environments in front of the correct people, and hiding them from the correct people, and calling out the correct people and recognizing them for who they are right up front, and keeping them out of your life. And if you have to deal with them, you know how to deal with them. You know how to not let it affect you. Because the thing is, these people with these cluster B personality disorders, they pull at your heartstrings. They push until the point that you're about to see who they are, and then they pull it back. It's an abuse cycle. You see it everywhere. You're pushing the envelope, seeing how far you can go, and then you get to a breaking point. As soon as you get there, then you back off. But you don't back off to the point you started from. You just back off a little bit to let them be comfortable. Then you push harder and you get a little bit further. Then you stop. Push harder, get a little bit further. It's that same cycle. It's the abuse cycle. And this is what I went through for 19 years, thinking everything was my fault. It's this push-pull. You go from the love bombing one second. You are the greatest person. You were sent here from God. My life would be incomplete without you. I couldn't live if you weren't here. In the same breath, the devaluation that makes you feel like you shouldn't be here, like you being here is a curse, that there's something wrong with you, like inherently wrong with you. But the thing is, this is projection. It's projection of how they're feeling. And the reason they can project it onto you is because you have enough self-accountability and self-realization that you do realize that you're not a perfect person and that you make mistakes and there might be something wrong with you too. So if you're somebody who's been in an abusive relationship with somebody who is highly narcissistic, someone who truly has a personality disorder, somebody who has a cluster B personality disorder. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a full-on expert. I don't know what an expert is, but I lived with this for 20 years, so I'm an expert of experience. There's a pattern. It's like a program. If you believe in simulation theory, this is part of the simulation. There are these people who are programmed this way. They're programmed this way to get in there and act a certain way. And the remarkable thing is that once you finally see the pattern in the program, it's almost a little creepy. It's almost like this person's just operating literally on a program, and they're incapable of going outside that programming. But once you know that, just like in life in a lot of ways the same way. So this is about going through an abusive situation, many cases tragic, devastating. Your whole world blows up. My whole world exploded right in front of my face. Reality did not, and she got me. She got me so good. I literally was probably a week away from doing exactly what she wanted me to do. I woke up. God woke me up. He was there. He helped me see what was going on. There was one instance. This is a particular instance. I have a vehicle that's very important to me. It's an object, so it's only important as an object's going to be, but it's very important to me. I had it before I met her. Built this car up. It's a classic collector car. And we were going through this process. She asked me to move out. Being the person I was, the people pleaser, the do whatever she said, in that scenario, in that situation before I woke up, I was the problem. I caused every problem in our relationship. I was the worst person that ever existed. She was the victim. I wasted 20 years of her life, all that stuff. And I believed it. And it came to a point where it was the car. I told her, if you really want me to move out, I'm going to have to sell this car. That's the only way, because of our financial situation. That's the only way I'm going to even be able to pay first and last month's rent. I'm going to have to sell my car, and then I'm just going to throw the money away just to get out of here. And then I saw it. I saw the fake empathy. Oh, I don't want you to have to do that. I'm like, well, I'm going to have to. There's no way around it. And then she literally looks me right in the eyes and goes, oh well. And then just goes back looking at her phone. And right then, right there, I saw that was not true empathy. She didn't care at all. That's literally the most important object in my life other than people. Or people are not an object, but other than my relationships and the individuals in my life that are the most important things to me when it comes to physical possessions, that car is the most valuable physical possession to me, not because of what it's worth, because of what it represented as the first that was the first thing of empowerment I ever did in my life. And the fact that she showed so little empathy towards that situation, anybody with even an ounce of empathy would have probably broke down crying, would have done, no, let me ask my parents, we're going to work this out together, let's take some money, let's go get a line of credit, let's work together and make this happen. She just said, oh, okay. And I looked at her. I thought to myself, who the fuck is this person? And that's when it started opening up. And that was well over a year ago that happened. And even right now, just in the last week, as I keep going, it keeps unraveling. It is incredible that there are people on this world like this that'll actually go through and they live their life this way. And the other incredible thing is how under the radar they are. And it's time for that to stop. I think there's a lot of us. I think there's a giant group of us right now on this planet for a very specific reason, that we're sent here at a certain time for a specific reason. Technology is advanced at this time, and we are here to use this technology to shed light on Satan's kingdom and what it is. This isn't about going to church and reading your Bible. This is reality. Whether you're religious or not, whether you want to admit it or not, whether you grew up in a church and you hate church and you hate God and you don't believe in any of it, you think it's all a manipulation tactic. Well, you know what? A lot of it is. That's part of Satan's kingdom too. If you grew up in a Christianity that was like, love everybody has good in them, just don't offend, don't judge anybody. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. There are evil people. There are people who are pure evil. They are of Satan himself. They aren't Satan himself, but they are of him. They are of the devil. And they have a purpose too. And the only way to overcome it, to beat it, is to recognize it and acknowledge it. And the moment you can do that, that is how we disempower them. We disempower them by not giving them anything. They're parasites. Demons are parasites. They need a host. They need somebody to live off of. So stop being the host. Stop letting them take your energy. Energy vampires, actual vampires. This is all the same thing. So if I'm speaking to you, if you are in the same situation I am, You're looking for answers. You're looking for insight. You're looking just for validation. Continue listening to this channel. It's going to get real. I'm going to tell my story. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to show all the different points in which I overlooked obvious things right in front of me, things God smacked me in the face with as hard as he possibly could. And I went, I know better. No, I got this. Nah, you're wrong. There's no way. There's no way. This person, no way. No. She's been through a lot in her life. She's a little weird. She's a little different. She's been through a lot in her life. Comes out the wrong way sometimes. But look at all these sweet things. Guys, the devil, demons, they're not going to come at you like a big scary monster that's super easy to spot. They're going to do the exact opposite. It's going to be the sweet little girl. It's going to be the charismatic guy. The ones who say all the right things and know how to do all the right things and know how to say certain things and just when to say it. That's what we're dealing with here. This is not easy. I don't even sit here and beat myself up over it. I made mistakes. I should have seen it. But holy shit, man, when you start looking into this, it's like you need somebody to tell you. God tells us in the Bible. But in the way he tells us, it's hard to understand. It's hard to see exactly what you're looking for. And the interesting thing is, after I've experienced it for 20 years and look back on it for 20 years, and then I go back to the Bible and I look at those stories, I go, oh shit. It's all over the place in here. It's all over the place. Describe this exact same thing. The exact same thing. And there's part of my narcissism. Not me. No, I'm not. This person? No. I'm the exception to the rule. We all have narcissistic traits. Empaths do too. In some cases, a lot. In some cases, empaths come across as narcissists or adopt many narcissistic qualities. But the difference is eventually the empath, or at least with enough reality put in front of their face, they'll recognize it and go, oh shit. Okay, I'll come down off my high horse for a minute. Maybe I need to look at this. And then they'll genuinely change. They'll genuinely look at their life and, well, the word change, improve, right? None of us really change. We are the same spirit. We are the same person, but we can learn and we can grow and we can develop bad habits and we can suppress those bad habits. So, yeah, that's about it. I'm going to get in some of these videos. I'm really going to dive into this and figure out what's going on. This is going to be a community. I want to hear your comments. Leave comments. Let me know where I got it right. Let me know where I got it wrong. Let me know your stories and experiences. We'll talk about them on live streams and shows. We're going to cover other people who cover the same topic. We're going to go ahead and break down their videos, do reaction videos to what they're saying, comment over the top of them, and just kind of go into that as well. This is about education. It's about self-accountability. It's also about growth. And if we all stick together and we see reality for what it is and don't let ourselves get sucked back in, we can overcome. We can look at this for what it is. A part of our past that was relevant and in many cases needed to happen for us to get to the place where we're at right now. Because without it, there's no way we'd be here. Without me going through this for 20 years, there is no way I could be here talking to you right now telling my story. 20 years ago, I would have been terrified to even put my voice on the internet, even in an anonymous fashion like I am now. And the only reason I'm doing that is because I do have a child, and this is about his mother, and there's a possibility it could get figured out, but I'm not there. This isn't going to be called out verbatim. I don't want my son finding this and thinking, I'm talking garbage about his mom and putting that out there, and the typical narcissistic game. trying to take someone down. I'm not doing that. It's not about that. It's not about the person. It's about the experience. And that's where I'm getting at too. This person means, they only mean to me what they are, mother of my child. That's it. And until I adopted that energy, things are actually changing now. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you in the next one.